right, good. So let's talk about our schedule for today and do it. First of all, Chocolate War. We're going to finish the Chocolate War today. We're just reading, not the whole thing, just the last 2 chapters for homework. We'll have a discussion about the Chocolate War, and then instead of reading the whole novel, we'll just watch the movie. Everything that's left today, we'll kind of jump through it a little bit. So if you don't finish the novel, watch the movie instead. It's a little bit different, but it's not bad. And then from next week, we're going to get a new book. We'll move into next week, we'll start the unit on children's literature. So next week, you can pick up the new package from the copy shop. It's not ready yet, but starting next week, we'll finish this book and move on to children's literature. But before we start, were there any questions about the last 2 chapters of The Chocolate War, which we read for homework? Right, so that's a good question, and that's the top of page 31. They're talking about a Marx Brothers movies. Probably you don't know these characters. In the old days, they made the Marx Brothers were real brothers. They made comedies in maybe the 30s and the 40s, a long time ago. So they're talking about the scene where the Marx Brothers, they were very stupid. They're looking something, they're looking for it, they can't find it, so they said, look in the house. And they said, what if it's not in the house? Well, if you're looking for it, if it's not in this house, go to the next house. What if there's no house over there? Well, build a house and then look for it. In other words, the situation is very stupid. So in the scene, they're just talking about the situation's kind of stupid, impossible. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense. So that's what that one's about. Good question. Any other questions about chapters 4 and 5? Yes?
On page 26.
Okay, page 26. Mm-hmm.
It says win well for the gipper.
Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry. Actually, it should be a big G. So this is kind of, maybe it's an American English kind of idiom. There was a football player. He was a star player, and he got cancer, so he couldn't play in the championship. He was dying in the hospital. So there's a famous movie about him. The player's name, his nickname was the Gipper. So for the championship game, the champion player, the best player, is in the hospital. Everybody comes together and they say, let's win this one for the Gipper. So when you watch this movie, it's like when you watch this movie, you get that warm, fuzzy feeling. So this win one for the Gipper, that means the best player is out. Let's get together. Let's win. Kind of the happy, warm feeling. That's all they're talking about, is this kind of feeling. A good question about win one for the Gipper. It's a real story. There's a famous movie. Anything else about this one? This, the whole novel is maybe 30 chapters. It's kind of building at the beginning, but it takes a long time to get there. So today we'll talk about the bullies. So he said, so what is a bully? A bully is a bad, usually we think bullies are guys, but there are also female bullies. Style is a little bit different. So the bully is cruel, the bully is mean, always pushing someone around, give me your money, do my homework. The bully needs to feel power from other people who are weak. So that's what the bully is. In the story, Archie is the bully, but in some ways he's a typical bully. in other ways, he's a little bit different. So what we'll do is you can look at the questions and answer these. You guys, you're very close. Can you guys see the screen from where you are? Are you sure? Okay, all right, good. So here what we do is we've got questions about the story and about your life. So I'll give you each person, look at all these questions, and when you see the question in your notebook, you can make just a simple note. Don't write long sentences. A bully is maybe something like this one. So question 1 might be, so each person look at all of the questions, take about 3 minutes or 4 minutes, make a short, simple note to answer each question. So don't start speaking yet. Take about 4 minutes, answer the questions, write simple notes, and we'll look at the questions together. We know what a bully is. Does everybody know Draco Malfoy? Yeah, from Harry Potter. He's in all the Harry Potter movies. It's interesting because Draco Malfoy, he's a bad guy. He's a villain. Is he a bully? Kind of. He's kind of a bully. So in Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy is a bad guy. Who's the main bad guy in Harry Potter? Voldemort. So actually, Archie from the Chocolate War, he's not very similar to Voldemort. He's much more like Draco Malfoy. So actually, if you compare Harry Potter and the Chocolate War, you can kind of get that feeling. Sometimes the characters are quite similar. And like this one. So this one, we're talking about Draco Malfoy, is maybe similar to Archie. Jerry Renault or Renault is maybe a little bit like Harry Potter, a little bit different at the same time. You can compare the two characters. Here we talked about male bullies and female bullies. They do some similar things and different things. How is Archie typically a bully? How is he different? How is he unlike a normal bully? And when you're in high school, there are always bullies in every high school, even girls' high school, and always victims. So that's a relationship. Bully and victim, they always go together. The bully does something cruel, and the victim gets hurt, gets damaged. So here, I don't mean your own story. Maybe somebody else, you saw somebody get pushed or somebody get hurt. So this one. So I'll give you about 4 minutes, answer the questions just by writing some simple notes in your notebook. After that, we'll have time to talk. So I'll give you a couple minutes just to answer the questions. All right, okay. Then Derek, did you have any bully in your high school?
Yes. Few.
A few, okay. So some bullies can be like really, really, really cruel. They hit somebody, they hurt somebody, break bones. Somebody just kind of for fun, a little joke. What about the bullies at your high school? Are they really bad or?
They spoke just bad words.
Right, huh?
Some kind of
Physical abuse?
physical power, but
Right, huh?
if too much power,
Right.
we call police station.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that happened in your school. Did you go to a boys' school or mixed school?
Or boys' school.
Really? Oh, okay. So, for example, this one, when I was a high school freshman, on my first day of high school, I was sitting having lunch, and a bully came up to me, and this guy was the worst bully because he was much shorter than I was. He was not strong, and he kind of had a really big head, and he said, "Go, do this. Here, take all the lunch trays and put them back." And it was my first day. I didn't know what to do. Where do you put the lunch trays? So I just didn't do it. And he kept looking at me, "Hey, go take the lunch trays." And once again, not because I was angry. I didn't know where to put the lunch trays, so I just did nothing. And finally, this little bully guy, he goes up and he gets the worst bully, the scariest guy in my school, to come and scare me. And the guy's looking at me, and still I didn't know he was this terrible bully guy. I think later he actually went to jail or prison for fighting. He was a very violent bad guy. And he's looking at me and said, "Why didn't you listen to this guy?" And I just had no idea what's happening. So finally, I got up to get the trays and take them back. But as soon as I stood up and got all these trays, one of the teachers came up and looked at all these trays and looked at me. And he looks at the bad bully and says, "What's happening here? What's going on? You, go take your trays back. Leave this guy alone." And luckily, I escaped with my life from the bad bully, but that was just, it was like I fell into a trap. So this one, I was a victim, but nothing bad happened. I was lucky I had good timing. But one of my friends in the high school band, he was a little bit of a bully. Even he was in the band, still he pushed around the little freshman, and when he was being bad, my other friends, we just kind of, we were very embarrassed. We kind of walk away. We don't help the victim. We just kind of walk away because, we feel so stupid. Why is he doing this? What is he doing? I don't understand. So I was on both sides of this situation. I was the victim a few times, and I guess I didn't really help my friend be a bully, but I didn't stop him either. So that happens to a lot of people. Sometimes we're on this side, sometimes we're on this side. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll give you a couple minutes in your group. You can ask and answer the question about bullying, about Harry Potter, and about the Chocolate War. You can just answer the questions by talking, especially share your own unique stories.
I think they are similar because they pick on the main character. But I think Draco Malfoy is a bit stupid. Draco Malfoy always picks on Harry Potter, but he is being punished for doing. I think this guy is not.
You got this book. Sorry, you're reading it? Or did you read the whole thing?
Just when I read the
like chapter by chapter? You go paragraph by paragraph. Okay.
compare two things.
Okay, sure. So does it help you understand or it helps you confirm?
Yeah, quite helpful to understand.
Is it? Okay, all right, good. Okay, so
Very hard and difficult
sure.
lines. So sometimes I need some background to
That's right, yeah.
understand it.
Yeah, some slang, some expressions, and especially the culture like the Marx Brothers. You need to know that background to understand. That's good. Good for you. Okay. So Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter, is their relationship bully and victim, would you say? Are they an example of that?
No, I think it's not.
Right, okay, so it's not exactly that. So what is their relationship then?
Rival?
Yeah, I think so. So Harry Potter and Malfoy, I think they're more rivals. Sometimes Malfoy, I think he is a bully. He acts like it, but Harry's not so much a victim. So more rivals, kind of good and bad. So it's a little bit different, I think, yeah.
Our conclusion is that the Harry Potter neither like the Chocolate War because Draco Malfoy has very white hair, blonde
Right,
hair.
Yeah, right,
And Archie also has a blonde hair, and he's rich, and Malfoy is also rich. And,
Right,
and lots of things are quite similar.
I don't know about plagiarized, right? There's some similarities, but plagiarized. There's no Voldemort, I think, in the character. Brother Leon, he's, I don't know. Something's fit, but not quite. So you said there's some violent behavior in the girls' middle school?
Is there more violent than in high school?
Oh, really? Okay. So what incidents happened in middle school that you remember?
Maybe there was a small mountain
Sure.
behind the school.
Right.
Like here.
Right.
And then I heard some stories that like some girls are taking some big money to the mountain and
Right.
they stole money or hit
Right, okay. Oh, so you heard the stories, but you didn't see it directly, but it must be true. Probably. Oh, that's interesting. Right, huh? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I don't know. There's private. Well, it depends. There's private schools and there's elite private schools. So I'd say Daewon is private and elite, but not all the private schools are elite. But I don't know exactly in Korea. But in this story anyway, it's a private school, but not elite. They're not that rich.
My school, high school, very low and terrible building and lower than public. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a part of the school, like a school patrol.
Yeah, but it's like made up of students.
But it's official, like the teachers make the group and everything. Oh, okay, right.
They have a little, what do you say?
Oh, right, like a little badge.
Yeah, a little badge.
Oh, sure, right. Oh, so they're not bullies. They make you do that, okay. Oh, okay, so you're saying they're kind of a little bit stupid. So that's why they do that, right? Because they can't get a good score or anything like that. Maybe low self-esteem.
Sometimes they are very friendly to
Sure,
bullies.
Oh, I see, okay, Oh, so in other words, I get it. They're kind of low social status, so they use their power to work with the bullies to increase their status. So they're not worried about the other kids, protecting the kids, they're worried about themselves. Oh, so they're politicians, basically. That's interesting, okay. Yeah, I didn't know you had that system, okay.
I think it depends on school.
Sure, right,
Because
okay.
in my school, they had great power. They had equal power to bullies.
Oh, okay, right,
They had their little sectors.
Right, okay, so they didn't work with the bullies? Not in your school, but okay, so what is that?
Very
Even though it was a private school, it's not so good. Oh, okay. I think one of the worst stories I ever heard, so we'll go through. One student, they got this book from the library. This is the Korean translation. This is the 초콜릿 전쟁, and it's got the same thing. So he said he's reading it, so that's one way to understand, because the English version has a lot of slang, and then like the Marx Brothers, some cultural things that you guys might not know about. So I guess it's not a bad way. I don't know if the translation is good or bad, but that was an interesting idea to get it from the library. And going through some of these questions then, talking about, first of all, Draco Malfoy and Archie. So the two characters, how are they similar? They don't study. Okay, yeah, that's true. They don't study. They kind of waste their time. That's good. Their hairstyle. Actually, no, that's why I thought about it in the beginning. They both have the same hairstyle. They're both blonde. That's true. Macaulay Culkin hairstyle, so Kevin as well. What else is similar between their characters? They're both rich. They're from richer families than the hero. And this group, I asked the same question. Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy. Is Draco a bully for Harry Potter? So we have the relationship between bully and victim. Is this the same relationship between Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter? Draco is Harry's bully? Tries to be, that's right. But Malfoy, like Kevin said, I think he's right, they're more rivals, so it's a little bit different. They fight back and forth. Harry's not afraid. Usually the bully is afraid of the victim. And when I was in school, always a bully has a sidekick. You know that there's usually a team that works together that's not equal. Batman and Robin. Robin is not equal to Batman. Batman is maybe 80%, 90%. Robin is like 10%. So the sidekick is the weaker helper of the bully. So always, sometimes I had some trouble in high school. So the sidekick, I always hated the sidekick more than I hated the bully. Bullies have some charisma, some power, some kind of intelligence. Sidekick, they're only followers. So one guy was bothering me when I was in high school. So I punched not the bully, I punched his sidekick, And the bully, what does he do? He laughs at the sidekick. Ha ha ha, you got punched. Oh God, what a terrible guy. So that's what happens there. So how about Harry Potter and Jerry Renault? What's similar between these two good guys? Is there anything?
Their mother is dead.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about it. No, that's... I didn't even think about that. That's actually very important, very significant. They struggle with the issue of a dead mother. Anything else you guys come up with?
Very bad background.
Yeah, they come from not a good background. Their family life, their background is not so good. So kind of unhappy surrounding. Anything else that's similar?
They are both not good at physical activity.
Okay, yeah, they're both a little bit clumsy, not good at football. Harry's good at Quidditch. Well, no, he struggles with that. So they both have some similarities. Are there big differences between Harry Potter and Jerry Renault?
Different.
Yeah, Anything significant or important?
I think Jerry is just weak, but Harry Potter sometimes is very courageous and lead their friends.
Okay, so Harry Potter has some strengths and weaknesses. So far, Jerry, it just looks like he's mostly weak. What we've seen so far, he's kind of wimpy, he's small, he gets beat up easily. So that's good with this question. I heard from the group we have male bullies and female bullies. They both do the same thing. They scare other students, they treat them badly, they take advantage. But what are the main differences between male bullies and female bullies? Anybody come up with anything?
Many bullies use punch and kick, but female bullies just staring and head and like this.
Okay, good. So, no, that's right. So, male bullies use more physical force, but the female bullies use, you're saying verbal intimidation, maybe looking. So, is he right? Is that the case? Kind of like that. So, typically that's what we think. So they do the same things. They use different ways. Psychology, verbal versus physical violence, but their end is the same thing. And then Archie is a bully, but he's a little bit different. How is Archie different from a typical bully? He's smart. Yeah, he's intelligent. A lot of bullies are pretty stupid. Maybe they have some charisma, but Archie's smarter. Anything else? No. Archie has his own secret society. Usually a bully just has a couple friends, but here he's like the president of a whole society. He's maybe more of a politician. So he has good social skills and then high self-esteem and some other things. So some ways he's a bully and in other ways he's not so much. Right? So here we'll do the same thing until break time. You can look at the questions, think about them yourself, and then the first question is, you're a university student. Most of you have been out of high school for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, maybe longer. If you had to go back to high school now, you have the same memory as you do now, you're yourself. If you had to go back in time, what would you do differently about high school? How would you change your high school life? So for me, I was thinking about this question myself. I was in the band in high school, and people who are in the band are not cool. Nobody says, oh, I want to play the clarinet, I want to play the flute. It's not cool. But the worst one for me, in middle school and high school, I played the tuba, and then when I look back on this, why, oh God, why? Why did I play the tuba? The tuba is the worst instrument. It's big, it's heavy, and then it doesn't play a pretty melody. If you're the tuba player, you play boom, 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 boom. That's it. That's it. It's so boring. So if I played the saxophone or something a little bit cooler, it would have been good. If there's some beautiful girl and you play the saxophone for her, oh, it's very nice. It's quite romantic. But if you play the tuba for some oh, God, it's terrible. Okay. So if I had to go back to high school, maybe no tuba, at least do something different, and then maybe if I played sports instead of playing the tuba, I could have been more popular, more cool, maybe more excited, and maybe study a little bit harder so I could go to a better university, have a better life. But now I realize, it's too late. So if I went back to high school, I would do a few things differently. I'm talking about this one. Okay, so what we can do is the same thing. In your group, you can just ask and answer these questions. First, actually, you don't have to make any notes. Just talk with each other about this, about your high school life. So I'll give you a couple minutes. Ask and answer the questions about your high school life.
What do you create? After a year.
Was there any bullying?
Okay, so we'll move on in a second here. Somebody was talking about their high school chemistry teacher was very good. I had the opposite experience. When I took high school chemistry, it's terrible. It was so bad. It was the worst thing. The teacher was not good, but the worst part, the most horrible part, is my father's job was a chemical engineer, and my father always had to try to help me in chemistry, and my father always taught me this impossible, difficult chemistry. I had to get from here to here to answer the chemistry questions for my homework. So my father would explain, but he was too good. He couldn't explain this is how to go from here to here. He would take me on a journey like this. And it's horrible. It was terrible. It would take him like 1 hour to answer the simple question. And then when I was 16, I was not a good student. We say for this one, he would talk to me and his message would go in one ear and out the other. It comes like this one here, and then it comes out. No processing. It doesn't go through my brain. No brain when I was 16. So in one ear and out the other. So, high school chemistry. Don't talk about it, please. That's my nightmare. I never want to remember that. So anyway, so we'll watch the Chocolate War movie in a little bit. But first, shall we take a break? Yeah, let's take about a 5-minute break. Okay, so 5 minutes, and then we'll cue up the movie. So Brother Leon is teaching the class, and he's a little bit weird. He's very charismatic, very smart, but also a little bit weird at the same time. So we'll start, and do we have any sound? So who wins the chocolate war in the end? The kid who's suffering, the anti-hero. It's a nice story. It's a beautiful Hollywood ending. But did anybody read the end of the story in the book? No. The movie version has the happy Hollywood ending. The sad guy, the lonely guy, wins against the bad guy. However, at the end of the book, it's actually Archie who wins. The bad guy, the evil guy, the villain, he wins, and the nice guy, the hero guy, walks off beaten, a loser. So the movie's kind of happy, nice ending. Book, not so happy. It's quite sad. So what we'll do next week Okay, so for next week, you can buy the new course packet. We'll have literature, and it'll be available probably Monday just before class. You could pick that up. And let's check our attendance. Let me see, I got him. Okay, Changmin is here. Okay, and I think everybody else. Okay, so let's finish for today. Then I'll see you guys next week.